Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff.
But if there is one, can you read between the lines? There's a call from the prisons. Someone thinks that they have a green light on us that they don't even know what they're talking about.
There's never a dull moment in the unraveling saga of Sean Diddy Combs, but the latest twist might just be the most damning yet. Reports have surfaced of a leaked phone call between Diddy and his lawyer that could blow the lid off his already crumbling defense. According to sources, during this call, Diddy allegedly let something slip, a blunder that might cost him everything. In an attempt to cover his tracks, Diddy reportedly instructed his lawyer to destroy some dirt he had collected over the years on various celebrities. But here's the kicker. The FBI was reportedly a step ahead. Before the lawyer could act, investigators swooped in and allegedly found the stash themselves. And rumor has it, what they uncovered isn't just bad, it's explosive.
What his team is trying to do is get the public to assume that the government is leaking some of this negative information about him, like that Cassie video. But the reality is, he's got a lot of enemies.
The stash in question reportedly contains evidence that could implicate some of Diddy's closest associates and even a few A-list celebrities who attended his infamous parties. This discovery could fundamentally change the direction of the case. For months, Diddy's legal team has tried to paint him as a target of baseless allegations, but with the FBI now reportedly in possession of this trove of evidence, that narrative is becoming harder to sell. The leaked call, which is now being analyzed by authorities, could also open Diddy up to new charges of obstruction of justice or evidence tampering, adding even more weight to an already devastating case. The timing of this leaked call couldn't be worse for Diddy. It's not the first time his phone conversations have landed him in trouble, but this one might just be the nail in the coffin. The call reportedly exposes his desperation as he scrambles to contain the fallout from the ongoing investigation. According to insiders, Diddy's frantic instructions to his lawyer were clear: destroy the material before it could fall into the wrong hands. But the FBI, acting on an earlier tip, had already moved in, allegedly securing everything before the lawyer could act. While the exact contents of this dirt have not been publicly revealed, whispers suggest it includes compromising material on both Diddy and a handful of celebrities who were regulars at his infamous private gatherings.
Today, just to tell the truth, so hopefully we can get down to the bottom of this. I'm 100%, the charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that.
This call is just the latest in a string of blunders that have painted a picture of a man desperately trying to stay ahead of a spiraling scandal. It's eerily reminiscent of another leaked call that surfaced recently, this time between Diddy and one of his sons. In that call, Diddy reportedly instructed his son to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The cryptic language immediately set off a firestorm of speculation online, with many suggesting the phrase was coded instructions to destroy evidence. While the actual meaning of the term pizza boxes remains unclear, the call raised serious questions about whether Diddy was attempting to use his family to cover his tracks. Taken together, these calls illustrate a pattern of behavior that could significantly damage his credibility in court.
Are you listening? Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes, okay?
But the call to the lawyer is on a whole different level. Unlike the call to his son, which could be dismissed as ambiguous or even innocent, this one reportedly offers a direct link between Diddy and an attempt to destroy evidence. Legal experts are already weighing in, with some saying this could be a turning point in the case. If the FBI has indeed recovered this stash before it could be tampered with, it could provide prosecutors with the kind of hard evidence they've been waiting for. And if the stash truly contains material implicating others, it could also lead to a domino effect, with associates turning on Diddy in exchange for lighter sentences.
So I'm telling you right now, a lot of people don't want to get it. There's enough of you to do something, anything. And there's so many of you able to get loud.
So what's in this alleged stash? While officials have remained tight-lipped, speculation is running wild. Some believe it includes hidden recordings from Diddy's private gatherings, often described in the media as freak-offs. These events, notorious for their secrecy and exclusivity, have become a focal point in the case. According to multiple reports, attendees at these parties were often unaware that cameras were rolling, capturing moments that could now come back to haunt them. Courtney Burgess, a former associate of Diddy who recently testified before a grand jury, has claimed that these recordings could implicate not just Diddy, but also several high-profile celebrities. If the FBI has indeed secured these tapes, it could spell disaster for everyone involved.
In her civil lawsuit, Cassie said that she was the victim of abuse, assault, and at the hands of Diddy.
Burgess's testimony has already sent shockwaves through Hollywood. He alleges that the tapes were initially kept by Diddy's late ex-partner, Kim Porter, who reportedly feared they could be used against her or others close to Diddy. After Porter's passing, the tapes allegedly fell into the hands of Burgess, who has provided detailed accounts of their contents. According to him, the recordings include deeply compromising material, some of which involves individuals who were unaware they were being filmed. While Burgess has yet to hand over the tapes to authorities, his testimony alone has added a sense of urgency to the investigation. If the FBI's recent raid recovered these tapes, it could provide prosecutors with a treasure trove of evidence.
Well, Kim Porter, that is Diddy's ex, who's also the mother of his 3 of his children,
Right.
has detailed the alleged abuse that she suffered at his hands.
Oh, no.
And this is all in a memoir.
But the tapes are just one piece of the puzzle. The alleged stash reportedly includes more than just video recordings. Insiders claim it also contains financial records, written notes, and other documents that could further implicate Diddy and his associates. Some have suggested that these materials could reveal a coordinated effort to silence witnesses and cover up wrongdoing. If true, this would align with previous allegations that Diddy used his wealth and influence to maintain control over those around him. For prosecutors, the stash could be a goldmine, offering a window into the inner workings of Diddy's empire and the lengths he allegedly went to protect it. The leaked call to the lawyer has also reignited interest in the broader allegations against Diddy, particularly those involving his notorious private gatherings. For years, rumors have swirled about what really went on at these events. Described by some as lavish parties and by others as secretive and indulgent, the gatherings often attracted a mix of celebrities, industry insiders, and other high-profile guests. But according to multiple reports, the parties also had a darker side. Attendees were allegedly lured under false pretenses, only to find themselves in situations they couldn't easily escape. Some have claimed that the parties were carefully orchestrated to create an atmosphere of indulgence and excess, with Diddy allegedly using his influence to control the narrative and ensure secrecy.
Person that really put their hands on women really is men who have feminine traits. So, it really takes a coward to put his hands on a woman. So, a man is so strong enough, we can just walk away. You can do, it's so many different things that you can do other than get upset, put your hands on a woman. But that comes from a man who's not quite a grown man.
One of the most chilling aspects of these allegations is the claim that hidden cameras were used to record the events. Burgess has testified that these recordings were not just for personal use, but were allegedly part of a larger effort to maintain control over those who attended. If the FBI has indeed recovered these tapes, it could provide concrete evidence to support these claims. And if the tapes include footage of other high-profile individuals, it could lead to a ripple effect, with new allegations and lawsuits emerging in the wake of the scandal.
It was all, insecurities. Anytime a man would go out his way to wiretap someone's phone or put taps in their homes just to monitor their conversation, that's a sign of insanity. So when you see someone doing that, you can imagine everything else they do.
The leaked call to the lawyer also raises serious questions about Diddy's legal strategy moving forward. His defense team has already been working overtime to counter the growing list of allegations, but this latest revelation could make their job significantly harder. If the FBI has indeed secured the stash, it could undermine any argument that the allegations against Diddy are baseless or exaggerated. It could also open the door to new charges, including obstruction of justice and evidence tampering. For a man already facing a mountain of legal challenges, this could be the final straw.
So he put his hands on females, put his hands on producers, executives. That's just his. I guess that's what the whole name Bad Boy comes from. That people don't really understand. What is it? What is a bad boy? Why did he choose that name? He never really gave a clear definition of how he feels about that name. Not yet.
And then there's the question of what this means for the other individuals allegedly implicated in the stash. If the materials do include compromising information about other high-profile figures, it could lead to a series of cascading legal battles. Some insiders believe that these individuals may be willing to cooperate with authorities in exchange for leniency, potentially turning the tide even further against Diddy. Others, however, are reportedly scrambling to distance themselves from the scandal, with some even allegedly deleting social media posts and cutting ties with Diddy altogether.
This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly.
As the story continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the leaked call to the lawyer has changed everything. What was once a case focused primarily on Diddy's alleged actions now threatens to engulf a wider circle of individuals, potentially implicating some of Hollywood's biggest names. For Diddy, the stakes couldn't be higher. With each new revelation, the walls seem to be closing in, and the question on everyone's mind is no longer whether he'll face consequences, but how severe they'll be. And if the FBI's latest move is any indication, this is far from over.
Not do this alone. Do you foresee that there could be other charges related to this case?
I'm not taking anything off the table.
No one wants him mentioned.
But this isn't just about Diddy. The leaked call and the alleged stash have raised broader questions about accountability, power, and the lengths some will go to protect their secrets. As the investigation continues, the public is left to wonder who else might be implicated and what other skeletons are waiting to be uncovered. One thing's for sure: this is a story that's only getting started, and the next chapter promises to be even more explosive. Stay tuned, because the revelations are just beginning to unfold, and the fallout could change Hollywood forever. And just when you thought the drama couldn't escalate any further, the fallout from Sean Diddy Combs' leaked call to his lawyer continues to snowball. The revelations are coming fast, and the stakes are getting higher. What started as a scandal focused on one man is now threatening to engulf an entire network of high-profile figures. If the FBI's recent actions are anything to go by, Diddy's empire isn't just crumbling, it's going down in flames, and it might take others with it. Now let's break it down. After reportedly instructing his lawyer to destroy what he called dirt collected on celebrities, Diddy has found himself in an even deeper hole. The FBI, as we already know, managed to intercept the stash before it could be erased. Rumor has it this collection contains incriminating material on some of the biggest names in entertainment, people who've been tied to Diddy's infamous secretive gatherings. But here's the kicker: this stash isn't just about Diddy's alleged wrongdoings. It might also expose a broader network of complicity, involving celebrities who were either attendees or enablers at these controversial events.
Yo, I just got some information myself, man, because it was strange to me that every month he's going up for a bail hearing, and I know that seems strange to a lot of people.
Insiders are now saying that the FBI has already begun sifting through this treasure trove of files. While the exact details of what they've uncovered remain tightly guarded, whispers from those close to the investigation suggest it's far worse than anyone imagined. There are rumors of hidden recordings, financial transactions, and even correspondence between Diddy and other powerful figures. If these allegations hold any weight, they could lead to a cascade of new charges, not just against Diddy, but potentially against others who were part of his inner circle. This development has sent shockwaves through Hollywood. For years, Diddy's gatherings were seen as the epitome of glamour and excess, exclusive events where only the most influential could get an invite. But as more details emerge, those same parties are being re-examined under a much darker lens. Sources close to the investigation describe them as carefully orchestrated spectacles, complete with high security and layers of secrecy. Everyone who attended knew they were stepping into a world where rules didn't apply, but what they might not have known is that their every move could have been recorded. The idea that Diddy may have kept these recordings as leverage is chilling, and it raises serious questions about who else might have something to hide.
Got a lot of money, and they got lawyers that can come up with different reasons and different information and present it to the courts, that they are able to get how many bail hearings, as long as you got different information to present to the court, different evidence.
What's even more shocking is how quickly this has escalated. It's not just about Diddy anymore. The leaked call to his lawyer, followed by the FBI's swift action, has opened Pandora's box. A growing number of celebrities who were once regulars at his parties are now reportedly scrambling to distance themselves from the fallout. Some have gone as far as deleting social media posts and cutting ties with Diddy entirely, hoping to avoid being dragged into the mess. But as the investigation digs deeper, it's becoming clear that no one is safe. If the files recovered by the FBI are as comprehensive as insiders claim, they could implicate a wide range of people, from entertainers to business moguls to politicians.
So you got to realize he got a lot of money. He still got a lot of money because he's paying these high-profile lawyers to take this case. So in having them to take this case, they're able to construct a lot of information together to making sure that when they go to the courts, they can say, yo, Your Honor, listen here. This is something that's changed. This is something that's new. This is something that's different.
And here's where things get really interesting. Legal experts, are now speculating that the FBI's findings could lead to a wave of new lawsuits, both civil and criminal. If any of Diddy's associates are implicated in the stash, they might be tempted to cooperate with authorities in exchange for leniency. This could set off a domino effect, with more and more people coming forward to save themselves, potentially turning the tide even further against Diddy. It's a classic case of every man for himself. And as one insider put it, the walls are closing in, not just on Diddy, but on everyone who was part of his world.
It looked like he might get bail. Now you're wondering why I'm saying that. See, they are trying to use some of the things that happen to criminals all the time, or inmates all the time. They always, brother, they always do those impromptu searches.
But let's not forget how we got here. Diddy's own actions have been his worst enemy, and the leaked call to his lawyer is just the latest example of his increasingly erratic behavior. For months, he's been fighting an uphill battle to defend himself against a growing list of allegations. But instead of staying quiet and letting his legal team handle it, he's made one misstep after another. The call to his lawyer, where he reportedly let slip his plans to destroy evidence, is damning enough on its own. But when combined with the earlier leaked call to his son, it paints a picture of a man who's panicking and, in his desperation, he's only making things worse.
In this particular case, they said that when they did the impromptu search, well, they took some of his legal information, and the judge ordered them to give that back. So I guess the lawyers are going to come up with a couple of new things saying that he can't properly, have his case.
Let's revisit that earlier call for a moment, because it's a perfect example of how Diddy's attempts to outmaneuver the authorities have backfired. In the leaked conversation, Diddy is heard instructing his son to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. Now, on the surface, that might sound innocent enough, but the timing and context raised immediate red flags. With Diddy already under investigation, the cryptic language was seen by many as a coded instruction to destroy evidence. Social media exploded with theories, with some even drawing comparisons to the Pizzagate conspiracy. While that connection might be a stretch, the call undeniably added fuel to the fire, further damaging Diddy's reputation. And here's the thing, Diddy's penchant for coded language isn't doing him any favors. Whether it's pizza boxes or vague instructions to recycle the plastic, his words are being scrutinized like never before. In the court of public opinion, every phrase becomes a puzzle to be solved, and every slip-up becomes a potential confession. The leaked call to his lawyer is no exception. By reportedly instructing his lawyer to destroy incriminating material, Diddy has not only handed prosecutors a potential new charge of obstruction of justice, but also given the public yet another reason to doubt his innocence.
It's going to be a whole forestry of next week, because what they did was they held off whatever the procedures was going to go down today. The judge said he's going to revisit this next week. So I guess, I don't know if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll find out what's going on, but it's going to be something that I think it may shock the world.
So where does this leave us? For Diddy, the outlook is grim. With the FBI now in possession of what could be damning evidence, his legal team has an uphill battle ahead. And for the celebrities who've been tied to his parties, the stakes are just as high. If the recovered stash does include recordings or documents implicating others, it could lead to a series of cascading scandals, each one more shocking than the last. The entertainment world is holding its breath, waiting to see who might be next to fall. But here's the bigger question: what does this mean for Hollywood as a whole? The Diddy scandal is just the latest in a string of high-profile cases that have exposed the darker side of fame and power. From Harvey Weinstein to Jeffrey Epstein, the public has grown increasingly skeptical of the entertainment industry's ability to police itself. Diddy's case is no different. If the allegations are true, it's not just about one man's actions, it's about a culture of silence and complicity that allowed those actions to go unchecked. And with the FBI now digging deeper, that culture might finally be facing a reckoning.
But see, this is what people don't understand about the federal government. This is what the people don't understand about the Southern District of New York. When they come and get you, when they decide to lock you up, they already won their case.
For now, all eyes are on the investigation. As the FBI continues to analyze the materials recovered during their raid, the public is left to speculate about what might come next. Will more names be revealed? Will the tapes, if they exist, ever see the light of day? And most importantly, what will this mean for Diddy's future and the future of those who've been tied to him? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over, and the next chapter promises to be even more explosive than the last. So stay tuned, because the walls aren't just closing in on Diddy, they're closing in on an entire network of power, privilege, and secrecy. And as more details come to light, one thing is becoming increasingly clear: no one is untouchable, and the truth has a way of catching up with everyone eventually. As the Diddy saga continues to unfold, one can't help but wonder, who else might be implicated in this web of secrecy and power? Could this scandal bring down more than just one empire, and will Hollywood ever be the same? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going, because this story is far from over. Until next time, stay curious and keep watching.